Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? Welcome into Guru's podcast. I am your host, Spencer the Guru, here with my co-host, Commissioner Crook. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great, Spencer. How about yourself?
Same here, man. Doing well. All right, so we're gonna hop into a mock draft here today. You heard that right? Mock draft Wednesday, I believe. Yes, we're going to be doing a mock here, a 12-man PPR. I've decided to make it a little more of a challenge and go with the 12th selection, and you, Commish, have gone with the second pick.
Yeah, that's right, Spencer. I'm going with the second pick today. I'm just going to kind of give y'all an idea of what I like to do higher in the first portion of the first round, and then what's going to happen after it snakes back around and I get the two picks almost back to back. You know, we just have two picks in between my two picks. So we're going to kind of go from there and kind of get a different aspect on what's happening in this league.
Sounds good, sounds good. And I'll be on the other end taking the guys that usually go around in the 12, 13 range. And also when it snakes back around, so y'all have an idea of where guys are going in each portion of the draft. All right, well, we're gonna touch on some breaking news here before it starts. Just something that went down this week. Jameis Winston is suspended for the first 3 weeks of the season due to...
Sad news.
Yeah, I think he groped an Uber driver or something, allegedly, but the NFL doesn't seem to care. They suspend you.
Yeah, the magical word, allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Regardless, if not, he's still suspended out. I think it's 2 or 4 games.
3, I believe.
3. All right, so it was right in the middle. I mean, you know, for him, it sucks. He's out. Maybe he needs a little break to step back. But, you know, Jameis Winston, he didn't really do a whole lot for Mike Evans last year. Maybe it was just the team, whatnot. But I still think that maybe Mike Evans takes a little hit with the whole Jameis Winston being out.
He might, but I still feel good about him in the second round as a solid mid-range WR1. I mean, he's still going to get his numbers. He did pretty well last year, even when Jameis was out. So I feel like Mike Evans is still a good value in the second round.
Oh, if you can get Mike Evans at the beginning of the second round, late first round even, if like you're feeling froggy or whatnot and you feel that he's going to really still produce, But personally, I want to try to get him second round, no earlier.
Right. Well, the mock has begun. We had the first 3 picks in. So tell me, Commish, who did you go with your second overall pick?
Second overall pick, right after Todd Gurley went number 1 overall, which I completely agree in all leagues should be your number 1 overall pick is Todd Gurley. Right. But I went with the second best in fantasy football, and that's Le'Veon Bell. Some would argue that he is the best, but last year Todd Gurley
I don't know about that.
Right, no, I get that. You might not, but some
I
would.
have him fourth, but I mean, he can make an argument for
I think
him.
with
he gets numbers.
The PPR receptions and what's going on in that team and how he's still the main focus of the offense outside of Antonio Brown. It's, you know, the killer bees. I'm still taking Le'Veon Bell second overall. I mean, that's just... You just got to keep riding it. I mean, the dude's been an RB1, a high-end RB1 for the last few years. You got to take Le'Veon Bell. Just my point of view.
Gotcha. Fair enough. I'd go DJ, but I mean, it's or Zeke. You can make a case for any of them.
And then, you could make a case for all of them, and they all win in the top 4.
Right, for sure.
Gurley, Bell, David Johnson third, Ezekiel Elliott fourth.
Right. The top 4 is pretty consistent. Then as we get here in the mid first, we've had AB go 5th, the first receiver off the board. And we had Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara just get picked. To me, Alvin Kamara is going a little too high for me in drafts. I don't know about you, but I'm not really feeling Kamara that high.
I mean, I think I've said it last week. I don't want Kamara in the first round. I think that his production last year was just a big outlier. I feel that he's going to come down a little bit more to earth. Maybe he still has even if he has a 5 yard per carry average, that's still lower than his 7 yards per carry, I think, from last year that he touched. So you're still going to see a decrease, but I'm still thinking that even that's a high number. I mean, Jamaal Charles barely did it for a few years and battled a bunch of injuries, sure, but what I'm getting at is I'm just not a Kamara person in the first round. I feel like he's a second-round player. If you're taking him in the first, thank you for letting somebody else slide to me. That's all I can really say. Like this person at 7th overall, he takes Alvin Kamara. With the 8th overall pick, they got DeAndre Hopkins. If I'm sitting at 8th and DeAndre Hopkins falls to me, I feel like I won the first round, personally. I mean, I'm in the 8th position and I got DeAndre Hopkins. Let that sink in for a moment and really think about DeAndre Hopkins at the 8th overall spot. I mean, he's
Right,
a
I
high-end
honestly have him 5th
one-
overall in my ranking, so if he falls to me at 8th, I'm ecstatic.
Oh yeah, completely. And then we had Julio Jones at 9, Dalvin Cook at 10. Big
Wow,
reach
it's pretty
on
high
Dalvin.
for Dalvin. I like him this year, but I'm feeling him more as an early second. I don't know if I'd take him quite that high, considering he's coming off a torn ACL and only
Yep.
played 4 games last year. He was impressive in those 4. I mean, he's definitely an RB1, I feel like, because I don't trust Latavius Murray whatsoever.
Well,
However,
no.
I don't think I'd have quite enough faith in him to take him right there. All right, back to me here. I got the 12th selection, and looks like Leonard Fournette is still on the board. Got to go Leonard here. He's a locked-in RB1, no committee. He's going to get his numbers.
But before you make that
Selecting
pick,
him here at 12.
did you see what other wide receiver was still on the board, Spencer?
I do, and I'm about to select him here at 13th overall, and that is Mr. Odell Beckham,
All right.
OBJ.
Man,
Going with him. This is actually like the first time I've ever gotten him in a mock because he fell. He normally goes about 8th or 9th. However, for some reason, he fell to me here in the late first, early second. I'll gladly take him. I know he's coming off ankle surgery, but I feel like he's an elite athlete, elite talent. He's gonna have a huge year this year. Gonna have something to prove. I believe he's in a contract year. He's gonna ball out this year.
I just can't believe Odell Beckham just fell to the second round. I mean,
this is amazing.
no,
I got
seriously.
Leonard and OBJ. I'm
if
really happy right now.
I mean, honestly, like
I'm
if you
wishing
were
this was
like,
a real draft.
yeah, really. But I mean, if you were to put this post on anything, I mean, Twitter, Instagram, you ask anybody if they think that Odell Beckham should go after the likes of Alvin Kamara or Melvin Gordon or Julio Jones or Dalvin Cook, they would all laugh at you and laugh in your face.
Right.
Just like I'm like doing in my head, and I'm astounded that Odell Beckham just went at the 2.1 spot. Spencer, you got, I mean, Odell and Fournette on that first turn. I mean, you have to be ecstatic about that.
For sure. Yeah, that's about the best you can hope for if you have 12th pick. A lot of
Exactly.
people think, oh no, 12th pick, my team's screwed. However,
Not at all.
There's a chance that could happen, especially if you have a couple guys in your league that are kind of new to fantasy or don't really care. They might be like, oh, screw it, I'm going to take, let's say, like LaShawn McCoy. I know the name, I'm taking him first.
Sure,
That's stupid
sure.
because that's just going to allow the other people in your league to scoop up the studs like
Right.
Leonard and Odell.
Well, if like I said, I mean, or like I'm thinking right now is that at every back-to-back turn that you would have that close together, if you could walk away with some kind of tandem in this fashion, you're ecstatic. I mean, you have a high-end wide receiver one, a RB one with to go along with that. You don't get that very often. I mean,
Exactly.
and especially that later in the draft, that's definitely a nice haul.
Right, for sure.
Well, now, moving forward, have you noticed that Keenan Allen went after Odell, then Michael Thomas, Kareem Hunt,
Michael
AJ
Thomas
Green?
is a good value. Not too big on Keenan Allen this year. Has had a
No?
lot of health problems in the past. I'm really
Sure.
feeling Thomas. So AJ Green, good value. LaShawn McCoy also just went. Not feeling him this year. But Devontae Adams, man, I'm really feeling him this year. I feel like that was a great value at
Yeah, I like that
7th pick of round 2. That was a great
I
value.
like Devontae Adams. I own him in a dynasty league. Love him. Young player. Not really any other competition for the wide receiver one. We had some other news to get to, and we're going to get to it a little bit later on. But that's Randall Cobb being in the walking boot, spotted in the walking boot.
I believe so. They were saying that at Packers practice. I wasn't feeling Cobb already, but
right. And
with
then
this latest news, that even makes it to where Adams going to get so many targets. And Cobb is just, I wasn't buying him in the first place.
Completely
Now
not.
with that, he's going to be set back. Some of those rookies might get in the action. We'll have to take a look at them at some point. But for now, it's all Devontae Adams. He's going to get a ton of volume, ton of touchdowns. I'm all in with him this year as a WR1.
Yep, and I mean, even if you have if you're trying to get a tight end in that offense, I mean, tight ends don't ever really produce in the Packers offense. I mean, for a
Jimmy
while.
Graham, he'll get some TDs, but he's not going to get the yards like
But still,
Devontae Adams.
outside of Devontae Adams, that would be your next best pass catcher out. And then you have, of course, your running backs, and especially in T.Y. Montgomery or Ty Montgomery, however you want to pronounce it. But it's back to me now with the second round, 11th overall pick. I have a few options right here. I'm going to look down a little bit and kind of take a look at what I'm really looking at. I mean, I could go Jerick McKinnon or Joe Mixon. Remember, we're in the second round. But
I
also,
do like Mixon this year. I wouldn't take McKinnon that high.
No, me neither. But I think, honestly, right here, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. and because I have Le'Veon Bell, and I like the boom of Tyreek Hill.
Right,
Yes, I'm a
right.
Chiefs
I like
fan,
him there in the
but
late second, early third. He's a good value.
exactly. I mean, he went over 1,000 yards receiving last year. If you're in a league with bonuses, I mean, he had some of the longest TD catches last year. That's always a plus in certain leagues. If you're in a league where you get points for returns, like punt returns, and you get yardage for that, he's also a guy that can kind of give you that dynamic in scoring points. I just like Tyreek Hill a lot. I feel like he's a big play guy. He's an underneath kind of guy as well. He can catch the stops and goes, the hitches. He's a wide receiver one this year for me.
Right, I feel you on that. And also,
And it's a
here we
little
go.
fandom.
Mike Evans actually did slip in this draft. He slipped all the way here to the very end of the second, and then Gronk just went out to him. Thielen went in the second, too. I'm not a big Thielen guy, but, I mean, he'll get his numbers, but I'm not feeling him in the second. He doesn't have enough TD upside. And then Gronk just isn't consistent enough with his health. Always seems to have something bothering him. No way I'd take him that high.
Well, I'm looking at right now, my top wide...
Right, back to you with
it is back on me. And I did just take Tyreek Hill, and there's the likes of Larry Fitzgerald and T.Y. Hilton still on the board. Running backs, I got McKinnon or Mixon and Jordan Howard, and Aaron Rodgers. I wish I could pause this, but I think I'm going to have to go Jordan Howard right here, to be quite honest with you. I like his thumper ability in a Nagy offense, coming from an Andy Reid style offense. I feel like he's still going to have a great year. I mean, they do have Tarik Cohen, and he's going to be a big contributor in that offense as well, as like a third down scat back kind of body, and a little Tyreek Hill kind of role is the Tarik Cohen. But Jordan Howard, I still going to be the first, second down guy, and he's going to offer us RB1 upside with a very solid RB2 week in, week out. That's just my personal.
Honestly, in standard leagues, I'd be all for Jordan Howard. However, since this is PPR, I'd prefer a guy that could have possible 3-down upside, such as Mixon or McKinnon, because Howard isn't going to get those third-down receptions, especially with Tarik Cohen in there. Like you said, Matt Nagy loves Cohen. Use him as almost like a receiver in a way, and he's going to be on the field a lot. So unless they run a lot of two-back sets, which, I mean, it isn't super common in the NFL, they usually do a lot of 3 wide receiver sets and 1 back. So Cohen is going to get a lot of snaps, so it definitely could take away from Howard. If Howard can get a lot of goal line touches, that could save his season, but
I still say he's going to give me...
He's a little too touchdown dependent for
Maybe
me.
so.
I'm not really feeling him, but
In
I mean,
the
he's
third
still
round, I
a
had to go
decent
with
value there. And then, let's see, McKinnon just went, Baldwin and Fitz. I like Doug Baldwin this year. Fitz, though, is getting up in age. He's so consistent. I can't argue with it in the third, but I'd prefer Baldwin, though. He's younger. He's their number one in Seattle. Russell Wilson, elite QB, throwing him the ball. I just feel like the upside's there more with Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that team, to be quite honest with you. I mean, yeah, year in, year out, Doug Baldwin has produced since becoming a wide receiver for that team. But that offensive line is just... It's just a travesty. I mean,
Russ is always running for his life. At least they'll have a better running game this year with Penny. That could take away some of the heat.
In theory, but a lot of analysts thought that they were reaching on Rashad Penny in the first round and really thought that they maybe should go Derrius, Guice in that offense.
Right,
and give
I'm honestly feeling Guice over Penny this year. I like Penny, but I just feel like Guice is a more talented runner, so I'd go with him.
And that be it
there. And we'll touch on that later on. Now, Guice has had such a... we can touch on that right now, actually, Derrius Guice, because we're getting into the mid-rounds here. I mean, Derrius Guice, guys, is just tearing it up right now in the mini camps and stuff. He's really,
they seem to really enjoy
looking
him.
good. He's looking like he's going to be the first and second early down back. And the way they're talking about him, he's also doing well at the third down as well. Probably won't get a ton of catches with Chris Thompson there. However, he's going to still be, I'd say, a solid RB2 with RB1 potential. So I'm definitely all in on Derrius Guice.
They really enjoy Thompson out there. I mean, he's always been a good player. He just could never stay on the field. So availability is key in the NFL and fantasy sports. But I definitely see that maybe he would be able to stay. Thompson would be able to stay healthy if they have somebody like Guice to not have him carry the load. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there.
All right, it is. Let's take a look here what's left. Let's take a look at the running back. Speaking of Guice, I feel like he's the best available running back right now. I'm probably gonna go bold here and take Derrius Guice right here.
Nice.
Secure that second running back, and now we got to get us another receiver because I'm not really feeling any of these backs. I don't want to go. Sometimes I'll go 3 backs, but I'm not really feeling any of these right now. So I'm gonna go here a receiver. This may be a little bit of a risk due to his history, but this guy has elite upside, elite talent, and that is Josh Gordon of the Cleveland Browns. I'm selecting him here with the fourth round pick of this mock. Gotta go bold here. I mean, he's got WR1 potential. I can't pass up.
And you went over him. You went Josh Gordon over the likes of Allen Robinson and Demarius Thomas.
Sure did. I'm not feeling Demarius this year. I like A-Rob, but they said his ACL might still be barking. I'm not too sure on that. Like they said, he's not really a full participant yet.
Really?
So until he's fully cleared, Gordon, man. I got a good gut feeling about him this year. I really feel like he's turned his life around. I feel like he's old enough now. He's matured. He's taking his life seriously. He knows if he wants to ever make the big money in the NFL,
sure,
he's got to put together a full season. He's got to prove that he's elite because that was now like 3 or 4 years ago since he was elite. That's the long in the past. The NFL GMs are probably like, yeah, he's got all the talent, but can he stay on the field? This is his year to prove that.
And it was never because of injuries.
And I feel like this is going to be that year. I feel like he's got 1,000 yards in the bag with upside for more, and also has some TD upside as the big body vertical threat. I mean, they got Jarvis Landry, and he's going to be the slot guy, so Josh Gordon's going to be their big target. So I feel like he's going to definitely get at least 6 to 8 touchdowns with upside for more. They got a big body in David Njoku. However, I just feel good about Gordon this year, guys. I feel like he's going to have a nice season. So I'm really liking this team so far. I feel like this is honestly, out of all the mocks I've done, this might be the most upside I've ever had on my team. I feel like all of these guys can end up being elite talents. Leonard Fournette, Derrius Guice, Odell Beckham, Josh Gordon.
But it's a nice starting 4 right there.
Definitely. I'm really liking this. I'm impressed because when I took 12th pick, I was thinking, it might be kind of a challenge for me. Not sure what I'm going to get, but tell you what, this has worked out better than I was expecting. All right, back to you, Commish, your 4th round pick.
Kind of funny, as we were talking, I know sometimes I've been saying this year that I'm okay with taking a quarterback somewhat high, and that person would have been Aaron Rodgers here in the 4th round. I would have definitely taken the QB1 over everything that's available. But looking back into everything, right now I have Le'Veon Bell, Jordan Howard, and Tarik Hill. I think I may be going wide receiver again, and to the opposite side of how you drafted Josh Gordon, and we talked about the slot, I'm going to take Jarvis Landry right here, to be completely honest, as my wide receiver too. And the main reason being is that Tyrod...
It is PPR.
It is PPR. He's always been a reception monster down in Miami. He comes out here to the Browns with Tyrod Taylor, and they're not going to be trying to turn the ball over, and Tyrod tries to keep the ball from being turned over. I mean, he wasn't Nathan Peterman last year, by all means. But and he likes to go deep as well. But, I mean, last year we saw him dump the ball off a lot to his tight end. While Jarvis Landry isn't the tight end and they do have David Njoku, Jarvis Landry does operate in the middle of the field and operates underneath a lot more than over the top, whereas Josh Gordon does. And I still feel that Tyrod Taylor is going to come in and be able to pass to Jarvis Landry on a consistent basis underneath, and he's going to eat in a PPR league.
Right, for sure. And Josh Gordon will still do well, but I feel like his potential is going to really be maximized once Baker Mayfield takes over. It probably won't happen for at least 3 or 4 weeks, but once they get tired of his mediocrity, they're going to put Baker in there, and that's going to really allow Josh Gordon to take off. Jarvis will still have decent value, however. I'm
taking Jarvis with whoever is the quarterback out there. I'm happy with Jarvis Landry.
Right.
I think he's still going to.
All right, back to you here in the 5th.
And I'm taking right now. I think I might actually take. Man, I kind of want to take Brandon Cooks, but I'm going to have to take Derrick Henry, actually.
I got it in with 1 second.
1 second left. Yeah, I know, man. Timing is everything, right? But, I mean, Derrick Henry in the 5th round, he's still kind of like another Jordan Howard base because he's going to have the pass-catching third down back in Deion Lewis, just like Tarik Cohen.
Scares me off.
It might scare you off, but as far as me, I'm going to buy into it because I watched him last year against my Chiefs in that comeback against the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Right, he is talented. I'm not denying that.
And let's also remember, he also won Heisman trophies over the likes of Zeke, Saquon, and Alvin Kamara and all them back out in college. Like, I mean, he's done this before. Derrick Henry is going to be a force to be reckoned with, even if he's not getting 6 receptions a game with 12 rushings. I mean, even if he's not that player, he still might get 15 rushes for 80 yards and a touchdown. He might catch 2 or 3 passes for 15 yards, but he's going to be a guy that can come in and run the rock, and they're going to trust him, and he doesn't fumble all that much. So at my flex position, I got 3 running backs. If I have to make a move later on in the year, I got 3 running backs. I can always wheel and deal with those as well.
Right, for sure. Speaking of quarterbacks, about to probably have to take quarterbacks here in the mid rounds. We got a question here from one of the loyal followers of Guru Nation, J Siegel 11. He is asking me, should you wait on a QB or pick one early? My answer to that generally is to wait on one. However, if a guy like, let's see what QBs are left here in the late 5th. I mean, if one slips like a Tom Brady, I might end up taking Brady right here as we take a look at which other running backs are left. Not really feeling any of these. And then these receivers, not really feeling these either. So I'm going to go here and select. I normally don't take a QB this early, but actually Russell Wilson's there too. I'm going to go Russell Wilson here due to his
second quarterback
mobility
taken too.
And third actually because Watson's gone as well. I may have gone Watson there, but Wilson and Watson to me are similar. Wilson, I know his O-line is in shambles all the time, but he overcomes it. He's such a good scrambler. He's so mobile. He makes things happen, and I feel like he's a great value there for the end of the 5th, beginning of the 6th. And let's see here. A receiver that I actually really like this season is Corey Davis from the Tennessee Titans. So we're going to go bold here and take Corey Davis as the flex play.
Wow.
We're trying to try and get all elite players on this team. I almost went Marvin Jones. However, to me, Marvin Jones is just not, he doesn't have that elite upside. I mean, he's consistent, but I'm trying to win the league here. I'm not trying to finish second. So
I hear that.
I'm going for the elite upside talent in Corey Davis because Corey Davis really caught fire there at the end. He struggled through most of the year with injuries. But once he was healthy and caught fire with Marcus Mariota, they got the chemistry going there. He was the WR1 in Tennessee, and he's going to really take off this year. I feel like he's a solid flex with WR2 potential. So I'm really liking Corey Davis.
We'll definitely have to see if he can even stay on the field this year. That's kind of what scares me, taking him this high in a redraft league.
His health's fine. He's had a great camps have always checked out. They've had no concerns about him so far.
Definitely. Well, let's hope he stays up there. I see the upside in it, but I would stay away from not stay away, but wait. Personally, I would wait.
I didn't want to wait though because I'm at the very end of the 7th. He would have been gone by then. He's someone I wanted at that point, so I wanted to make sure I secured him.
Makes sense. Sometimes you got to go with your gut and reach for the guy. You're right.
Right, because I mean, the supposed sheep experts will tell you, "Oh, go play it safe, go Marvin Jones." But I'm like, no, I want to try and win my league. I'm going bold here with Corey Davis. I'm already pretty solid at receiver with Odell and Josh Gordon. So I mean, if I can hit another home run here. But if I get a home run here, OBJ, Josh Gordon, Corey Davis, Derrius Guice, then you got the rock solid consistency of Russ and Leonard Fournette. I mean that's the building blocks of a championship team right there. Yep. So we've got to keep building it through the draft, and then as the year goes on, make the trades and free agent acquisitions needed to win you your title. So yeah, as far as waiting on the QB, it all depends on the draft flow. If they fall to the 5th or early 6th, I'd grab them. But if they go early, like the 3rd or 4th, I'm staying away.
Sure. And well, right now it's back to me in the 6th round, and I don't have a tight end still on my team. I'm kind of looking at them as Delaney Walker, Evan Ingram, or Jordan Reed. I'm pretty much fine with either 3 of those, and to have 1, 2, 3 picks until me again, I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to go back to wide receiver, and I'm going to choose between Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp. I'm going Cooper Kupp just out of PPR upside and him having just because last year he had a few touchdowns where his feet were just a little bit out the outside line and going out of bounds, and he could have had even more touchdowns, or the ball would be right off his fingertips. I like Cooper Kupp. I like his high-end PPR numbers. Like as far as receptions going, I feel like he'll be that guy. But like I said before, I had 3 tight ends lumped into 1, and then I'm kind of light on wide receiver, so I hurried up and jumped in and grabbed Cooper Kupp to make sure that I had an extra wide receiver.
Right, it's back to you again here at the 7th round.
And still, those 3 tight ends are there. But knowing that it's not going to come back around to me until the late 8th round pick, Spencer, I think right here I'm going to have to go and be a little Little different than all the sheepses, like you say.
Nothing
but
wrong with
I
that.
think right now in the 7th round, crazy as it is, give me Jordan Reed this year. Give me Jordan Reed right now in the 7th round. And let me tell you why. Alex Smith. Alex Smith. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if Jordan Reed is healthy this year, yeah, I'm taking a long shot on him. Big if. Big if. But, you know, if you got to risk it to get the biscuit. And in the 7th round, I'm happy with taking Jordan Reed. I'm taking Jordan Reed. Hey, man.
Risk it to get the biscuit.
I'm sure I've heard it somewhere. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere. I think it's an older saying, but like seriously, I'm taking Jordan Reed right here. Alex Smith, Travis Kelce was a thing in Kansas City. I want to see it again with Alex Smith and Jordan Reed staying healthy this year.
Hey, this draft's going pretty quick. Back to me. All right, let's see. This is probably about the point where I target a tight end. Let's see who's left. We've got a couple good ones here. Jimmy Graham, Kyle Rudolph. I've tried to go bold here with some big home runs, but I'm gonna. As far as tight ends, I usually tend to play it safe. I'm going to play it safe here and go with Kyle Rudolph.
There you
He's
go.
so safe,
I don't blame
consistent. You. Jimmy Graham with that. He's getting up in age. He's
no biscuit for you.
Tendon. It's just, well, I've got a lot of guys that are going to get me the biscuit. So
for sure.
Rudolph's just going to compliment it.
Yep.
So that's
and
all I need. I don't need
like
a
Rudolph.
home run from my tight end Graham.
Right.
I mean, I just don't see Graham hitting a home run. He's just too old and inconsistent for my liking. Let's take a look here at what running backs are left and receivers. Not really feeling any of these receivers. They've had a lot of years to impress. I'm not feeling it. Let's see. I actually like Tarik Cohen a lot this year. I know you selected Jordan Howard. However, I like Cohen this year in that Matt Nagy offense. I'm gonna go bold here and select Tarik Cohen. I normally don't like taking, third down specialist backs, but I think Cohen has potential for more than that. He could end up being like a receiver. He might catch. I remember back in the day with the Bears offense when they like to get Matt Forte involved. I remember one year Forte had like 100 catches almost or something ridiculous like that. I think Cohen, he's not going to catch that much, but he's definitely got a range anywhere I'd say from 60 to 80 catches. And that adds up quick in PPR.
Yes,
I mean, like last year with Christian McCaffrey, even though he wasn't that great of a running back, he was so good as a receiver that he still was like the 11th best back in PPR. So Cohen's definitely got RB2 potential in PPR leagues.
Well, now that it's back to me, you already selected a quarterback. What round did you take Russell Wilson?
The early 6th.
Early 6th. Now we're in the late part of the 8th. I don't have a quarterback. Right here, right now, it's either between Roethlisberger, Kirk Cousins, or Andrew Luck and Matt Stafford and Drew Brees. And you know who I'm taking? Give me Kirk Cousins in that offense. That might be the best offense in the NFL. I can't believe
Drew's fallen this far. I mean, Kirk's pretty good too. I'd prefer Brees as a veteran.
I'm taking him. 4,000 yards this year.
Brees, I'm thinking 5,000.
But on every winning team that Drew Brees has ever won, and he didn't throw for 5,000 yards.
Right, I don't think he'll throw for that many. I'm thinking more around 4,500 and definitely more touchdowns this year.
Well,
Kirk, I definitely think will get the touchdowns with Minnesota. They'll both get around 30 TDs. I just think Brees is going to have a little more yards.
I'm just going with the younger player as well. I like Kirk Cousins' age. I like his new fit. I like his receivers, his running backs, his tight end. He's got everything he wants, and he went to a place that he got to choose. Let's not forget that. And I think he made the right choice going to Minnesota.
I think he did too. That was definitely his best chance at a Super Bowl
title. If I couldn't get Aaron Rodgers in the 4th, I'm in the 8th. I'm taking Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? I waited 4 rounds longer, got the roster I'm looking to like a lot, and then I can grab a quarterback that could possibly give me 35 touchdowns for 4,000 yards. That's a big lot of touchdowns.
Right.
But I mean that's what we're hoping for.
Complain with Kirk though at that point.
Let's see. Now I'm back to me again, and I could definitely stand to benefit from bringing in another wide receiver, but honestly, I don't want Robbie Anderson with all the legal charges. Jordy Nelson's too old. There is Marquise Goodwin. I'm aiming the 9th round. I kind of like that. But there's a player that I liked a lot last week, and he's still available even in ESPN mock drafts here in the 9th, and I think I'm going to have to go Nelson Aguilar. We talked about that a lot last week.
He's a solid pick.
I like Nelson Aguilar. I can throw him in at the flex. He can be a big play guy. He can catch a few PPR balls, like as far as having good games just built on PPR. I like him this year, and, it's also a branch of the Andy Reid offense, and I'm an Andy Reid guy, if you know what I'm saying. So, really, though, all joking aside, I really like Nelson Aguilar this year. That's just my gut guy. Let's call him that.
He's a solid pick. He could definitely have flex potential. It's just Wentz, though, loves to spread the ball, so I'm not really feeling him as a WR2, but he could definitely have some nice flex weeks.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for him to be my WR2 by any means. Definitely a flex play. And then now I also have 3 running backs in Bell, Howard, and Henry. And now I have 4 wide receivers in Tarik Hill, Jarvis Landry, also Cooper Kupp, and Nelson Aguilar.
Right.
So I got a little bit of diversity between the 4 guys at wide receiver. And then I also have my tight end already as well, just like you.
Yeah, I gotta say, these people in this mock, I gotta give them credit. They're on their game because all the good rookies that I usually get in drafts, like Ronald Jones, Kerryon Johnson, Royce Freeman, they're all gone.
Yeah, I know.
They're all gone.
I was noticing that.
I was like, wow.
I was honestly kind of hoping that Kerwin Johnson would fall to me maybe in the 10th, 11th, 12th round.
Right, those guys just went.
But they went already.
They went at their deserved value. So
yeah,
they deserve to go that. We've
been
getting them as highway robbery value on those fantasy pros mocks. But it seems like the people on ESPN, like the drafting with real life people and not the sheep. The real life people seem to know better than the damn sheep.
They just kind of have more of an idea. They have that human familiarity with the app and what's going on up to that moment. These lists that are computer generated might not have been updated for a while. But with that being said,
they lag behind, and then it allows people like us to.
And now looking at the draft, while it comes up to you, another rookie running back that we can touch on is Nick Chubb.
Right, he's definitely someone I might target. However, I'm liking Jamaal Williams a lot from the Packers. I feel like he's got 3-down potential. Aaron Jones facing a suspension. I'm going Jamaal Williams right here.
Okay.
And I'm liking him right now. That's definitely a situation, though, to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with the Green Bay backfield. I'm staying away from it like I had the New England backfield in past years. There's 3 guys. They've come out and said it's going to be a committee, so buyer beware. Buy at your own risk. And I'm staying away from them. Sorry, don't want it.
I don't blame you. I'm pretty much staying away from that Cleveland backfield. But Chubb's got time to impress me. I almost took him there, but I'm going to wait a little while before I feel comfortable rostering him. It's counting down here. I'm going to go with Cameron Meredith right here. I'm going to go
Homer pick.
Cameron Meredith. Not at all. I feel like he's got a lot of potential this season. Working in that Saints offense. And you got to think back a couple of years ago, he was working with one of the worst offenses in the NFL with
and
the
I picked
Bears,
him up on a waiver wire.
Back with the John Fox Bears, and he really broke through. And he really broke through and had a nice season, even though he was stuck on with an outdated head coach who didn't really know what he was doing offensively. And he still did well. So with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, I feel like Meredith's got a lot of potential this season. As long as he's healthy, which he appears to be. I mean, I feel like he was a great value there in the late 10th or 11th or whatever round we're in now.
Right now we're in the 10th. It is actually back to me. And as I'm looking at it, I want to go running back again because I have a few wide receivers. And I want to go running back because I feel after I take this last guy, there won't be much left for me at running back. And this is over the likes of Gio Bernard, Booker, Theo Reddick, James White, and Ty Montgomery. I'm going C.J. Anderson. I like him in that offense. He's another thumper with a 3rd down running back. I get it. Y'all can see a trend in my team. Give me the first, second down guys that's going to give me TD upside and can bulldoze teams and wear them down.
Yeah, those kind of guys seem to slip in PPR because people chase the 3rd down guys.
Exactly. So give me the running backs that when teams are starting to lose their 3rd down running backs, and then all of a sudden these guys that were the 1-2 that can handle the 1st and 2nd down over and over again, game in, game out. Give me those guys, and later in the season, if I have to trade, guess what? I'm charging King's ransom for him, and people are gonna pay for it. But now we're over in the 11th round. I have a nice squad, a lot of balance going on between wide receiver and running back. And honestly, in the 11th round, I'm taking my highest upside, the guy that's going to probably give me what I'm looking for, and hopefully in a keeper league I can have him at a value next year, and that's Kenny Galladay. 6'4", can go up, had a nice turnout last year for being injured and really getting the hang of the NFL. This year, 6'4", no tight end out there in Detroit. Look for him to have a higher TD upside. I'm going Kenny Galladay. Love the pick.
For sure. It's better than For sure. We got a question from Ultimate 12th E. Brown asking, should I avoid aging players? And that answer is yes. I mean, definitely in the later rounds. Go with the rookies with upside. Don't fall for the aging veterans. They're not worth it.
Well, I mean, it just depends also on the position. I mean, I don't The only running back I would take that's over 30 years old is Frank Gore, because he's done it for however long now, and he just never ceases to amaze you by the way he and the way he runs and the production he gets you in and year out. Frank
He
Gore's
seemed
that
to
guy.
kind of fall off last year, though.
Maybe a little bit, but
I'm
hey, I
not
think he still
touching him
finished
for
with right at
redraft
1,000
or
yards.
any draft this year. All right, here I'm going. It's back to me. I'm going DJ Moore here. Try to get a receiver here with upside. Get the receiving core all loaded up with upside. Then maybe take another running back. Let me see what's left. We've got we got another question about who are some late round running backs who could possibly have RB1-ish value that are going undrafted. So I'm gonna go with a guy here I've got a third downer in Tarik Cohen there. And I got Jamaal Williams who might be third down, but he's kind of iffy. I'm gonna go with a guy that's impressed so far. He's almost ahead already of Marlon Mack. It's a competition still, though, however. But I like him a lot this year, especially where he's going. I'm going Jordan Wilkins from the Indianapolis Colts. I feel like Jordan Wilkins really has a shot to be a amazing value pick here in the 12th round.
Well, with that being said, though, I mean he's not known for his pass catching. So with him, he's going to be your first, second down guy with Nyheim Hines or Marlon Mack coming in on the third down. But he also offers you that TD upside in this late in the draft.
Right, I feel like you just can't pass up on that. Exactly. Yeah, get the balance in the backfield. Got the PPR specialist in Cohen, and then got a young thumper in Wilkins there.
I think we can almost. I mean, there's not many other running backs I would take at that position, but I like the pick for sure. And as far as back to his question, this late in the draft, man, you're just taking flyers and just hoping that somebody is flex worthy later on. Exactly.
Point, yeah.
As I'm looking through everything, I mean, I may even think about taking a backup quarterback, but I mean, it's a 12-man league. You can always pick that up on the waiver wire. So maybe I would actually wait and maybe take a deep dive through these other players and try to find a rookie, or if there's none of those left over, just find me somebody that can give me consistent play. But I really like this one guy, Chris Godwin, who's another big-time wide receiver.
All right, he's definitely a good late-round sleeper.
As far as a 12th-round guy, if it's a keeper league, I know I went back-to-back with Kenny Golladay and Chris Godwin, and those guys are maybe interchangeable pieces. They're both tall, go up and play the 50-50 ball kind of wide receivers.
Right.
But you know what? In a keeper league, if it is,
this point.
Exactly. We're taking flyers. I have my bench for my flex spots in Cup, Aguilar, and Anderson. I have my offense in place. Still looking for a starting defense and kicker. I'm taking those flyers, man. You got to take those flyers. It doesn't matter if you drop them after the freaking draft. But, hey, if it's a keeper league, you draft them next year. Because you drafted them, you get to just lose a round before that, and these guys work out. Then you take them. You try. You shoot for the stars with every player.
Right,
especially in these rounds.
You go for your pick.
Oh, man. It's going to absolutely pick on me. Wow, I got so into defending my Godwin pick that I had to just no, it says disable auto pick. Sorry. Well, who did they take for me?
I think they gave you Albert Wilson. Yikes.
Albert Wilson.
Not good. That's exactly why we're just having fun here with this mock. But in your real life draft, you've got to be on your toes because auto pick will screw you over.
Unless you have a cool general manager and they'll just like, hey, what was going on? Was something happening? And maybe rewind the draft. But really, it just sucks for me. So they took Albert Wilson, and trust me, I would never take Albert Wilson there.
Right, yeah, definitely not worth it. Let's fill out the bench here. Let's see who's left. Trying to maybe another receiver. Oh, Lord, there's not much left at this point. We're going to go here to... We're not going to take a backup QB here because there's a chance Russ might get injured with that horrible O-line. I'm going to go here and take Jared Goff as my backup QB.
Nice
I can't believe he's still available. And then Sean McVay
round?
Offense. Wow, that was a steal.
Mm-hmm.
He's got QB1 potential for sure. Let's see here. Running back. I don't really have any running
pretty thin.
back. Yeah, it is. They took Hines on me. He was the one I was eyeing. They took him, though. I got Wilkins, so I can't complain. The receivers, there just is nothing left, really.
It's very thin.
Let's see here, though. They might have somebody. Might as well take a flyer here. I know this is a crowded receiving core, but I've heard good things about Dede Westbrook. I heard he might be breaking through there in Jacksonville as their number one. Who knows? But at this point, you just got to take a risk, take a chance.
Take a chance.
I'm going Dede Westbrook right here.
Feel that.
And fill out the bench. And, that'll do it here for this mock. We're not going to worry about defense and kicker, guys. Don't stress about that.
I think I have one more player to select. And I think that player, if he's still there, I'm going to touch on it real quick. Yeah, he's there. This late, I really, because they also screwed me and took the
Yeah, I don't think it'll let you take anything other than defense and kicker at this point. So.
I mean, I have another spot on my bench, which is weird. It's only the 14th. We still have the 15th.
Yeah, let's actually get the before we go here. We got couple more Q&A questions. One from let's rank these players real quick for Irish Boy 3891. He's asking who's he like out of Kamara versus Zeke versus Hunt versus Barkley. My rankings, I'm going Zeke first, then Barkley, then Kamara, then Kareem Hunt. I know you're more of a Kareem Hunt guy, though.
I just like Kareem Hunt in that offense. Andy Reid's going to find every way and every aspect to get Hunt mixed in. He might go out to the slot. He might play running back. He might get dump-offs, this and that. I mean, it's the same as Kamara, but also he just offers me maybe a little bit more of balance as far as his actual balance. When he takes that first hit, he might bounce off and gain me 2 extra yards in the run game. But if I'm looking at this list, I'm probably going Zeke, Hunt, Kamara, Barkley. And I know that's going to strike people crazy.
Yeah, I'm a Barkley guy.
Because we like Barkley last week, too.
He's all over the field. He's going to get the yards. He's got Marshall Faulk potential, so I'm going with him.
And I can see that. But I know last week we also said that I like Barkley over Kamara, but that's in drafting in the first round. I do like Kamara as far as probably having more of a productive year overall.
Right. Yeah, defense and kicker, not worried about that.
Right. And then your next one was on wide receivers was rank Hopkins versus Jones versus Michael Thomas versus OBJ.
Right, for sure. I'm going here definitely Hopkins first out of those, and OBJ second. And then this one's kind of tough, Julio Jones or Michael Thomas, but I'm going Michael Thomas. I feel like he's got more touchdown potential for sure. Probably won't get quite as many catches. However, Julio the past couple of years hadn't even caught 100 balls. I feel like Thomas, I think he's second in the league behind AB the past 2 years in receptions.
Yep.
And yeah, I feel like he's got a little more upside than Julio. Julio, the only thing he'll probably beat him in is yards. I think Thomas will get more catches and also more TDs. He's in great shape right now. He's training his ass off. He is doing awesome this offseason. I feel like he's just an elite talent. I've been scouting him out ever since he was a rookie. He was a player I loved in his rookie season. I said, draft Michael Thomas late, guys. He's going to pay off, and he had an amazing rookie season. And he's a hard worker, elite talent. I'm going with him there in the near the late first, early second of a PPR mock for sure. Or real draft, yeah. Really. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going.
There you go.
Can't guard Mike if he's there.
I can almost pretty much agree with that. I mean, Hopkins and Thomas can be definitely interchangeable. I definitely want Hopkins, and then OBJ, then Michael Thomas or Julio Jones could definitely be interchangeable. It's pretty at that point we're threading a needle here on that. We're splitting hairs with that.
All right. Just taking a pick of my mock draft team here real quick. You can go on, come in.
Oh, okay. Also, let's see. That's just kind of where I stand on ranking those. But the next question is, who is that late round running back who could give you running back one-ish value?
Right. We had touched on that with Wilkins and Hines. We had, and for sure. And the last question was from, let's see here.
That was the last question. Who was that late round?
Oh, we forgot to touch on Nico. Nico W58. It's about Cam Newton. We got to get this one in from my boy Nico. Shout out to him. Why is Cam Newton so up and down?
Do you want to start it or do you want me to? Because I might be somebody that just wants to stay away from Cam.
Yeah, and I am too. I'm with you on that because I'm not a Cam guy this year at all. I feel like he's just too inconsistent for my liking. He is a QB1. He'll get those QB1 numbers, but just week to week, some weeks he'll win the week for you. Other weeks he'll just totally destroy you. So I'd rather the safe, consistent production of a Drew Brees or a Kirk Cousins.
Well, I think what Cam Newton is sometimes you find yourself being reliant on the rush. And if he can't run the ball in a game and you're missing out on, say if he needs to run for 45 yards to give you 4.5 points, to put him at 20 points for the game and make sure that he's in that upper category of quarterbacks. I love it that he can get it. I hate that he might not get it. Does that make sense?
Right. I'd rather a safer
exactly.
bet.
He's going to be an up and down guy. I try to stay away from him, but when you have him and he's balling out of control, you love him. When he's not, you want to keep trade or cut. And
exactly. And I just don't want that from the QB for this. From the QB and tight end position, I want safe, consistent production. Drew Brees and Kyle Rudolph are usually my go-tos at those.
Definitely.
And then one quick question here before we go. Just a quick hitter. Kamara or Hopkins?
Kamara or Hopkins?
Yes.
This
is from Bryson Butcher.
Hopkins.
Right. And I'm with you on that too. I mean, that was a fairly easy.
Hopkins is my first wide
No, I
receiver off
definitely
the
prefer
board,
Hopkins.
and Kamara's not even in my top 5 as far as running backs go. And I think all top 5 running backs need to go before the first wide receiver. So that's just my standpoint. And like I said, we said it earlier in this draft. I mean, Kamara needs to be taken late first, early second, mid-second round pick, and with caution because of his outlier season. Still like the player, still hope that he balls out for the Saints.
Definitely.
But for my fantasy team, I'm weary.
Yeah,
Give me
I'm honestly
Hopkins.
not feeling it.
Give
I
me
mean,
Hopkins.
I'm a Saints fan, but I'm pretty much staying away from Kamara in all leagues.
Just
and
because
then,
of where they want you to buy him at. That's
right,
simple,
it's not a
simple
good
as that.
value. And also, guys, keep an eye on Sammy Watkins. He's having a great camp so far, doing very well in that Chiefs offense. Also,
Moving him
keep an
all
eye
over.
on Nick Chubb. I mean, I almost went with him in the mock. Not quite comfortable enough yet because of Carlos Hyde there, but it looks like Chubb's got a good chance to outseed him. And if he gets that job, guys, Nick Chubb could end up being yet another rookie running back to add to the list of
Definitely.
rookies that could win you your fantasy championship.
So, Spencer, you want to give a shout out before we get out of here to where people can follow you on Instagram?
For sure, guys. Check out my Instagram page at Fantasy Guru. For sure. Check it out and follow Commissioner at Commissioner Crook, especially if you need Dynasty League
Always
help.
about Dynasty.
Right. We're changing the game here on Instagram, guys.
I'm also
we're going
on
to the
Twitter.
next level. Yeah, Twitter versus Instagram is a big thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun league
it's
to
gonna
watch
be a fun
y'all.
league competing against Brad Evans from Yahoo, the Big Noise. That's going to be a fun one for sure.
Definitely,
and,
y'all.
Yeah, and then make sure to subscribe here to the YouTube channel, Spencer the Guru. And all right, well, that'll wrap it up here, guys.
Sounds good,
Thanks
guys.
for tuning in.
Get at me on
It was
Instagram,
fun.
Commissioner_Crook,
Right,
and on
Fantasy
Twitter at
Guru.
Mr. Crook89.
Right.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, see y'all later.